Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Oxnam Gaming 08 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another LEGO DC Supervillains custom showcase video, which is basically a video in the series where I showcase a custom I made in LEGO DC Supervillains. If you remember in the previous episode, we showcased Naya from Ninjago. Sorry. And it looks like in today's video, I'm actually going to be showcasing all of my Ninjago customs in LEGO DC Supervillains, because I decided to leave Naya as the last one, and only got from Kai to Naya, only do the 6th ninja, because they're the only main characters I actually care about in this show, as I don't watch it anymore, yeah, pretty much. So I felt like this would be a good way to conclude the Ninjago customs, basically. So if you enjoy, or if you'd like to see more content like this, like the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you can't miss anything new that I upload. I upload gaming content Tuesday to Friday at 3 PM British time, and subscribing is a brilliant way to help me reach 300 subscribers, which I very much appreciate seeing as that's my current sub goal. And in case you don't know, only 10% of you watch my vids are actually subscribed, so if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, it really means a lot to me. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into showcasing these customs, shall we? Here, we have Kai, Master of Fire. And I decided to take this version of Kai into my own, actually, and make his colour scheme only black and red, which pays reference to his elemental kimono that he has, and also his possession and skybound forms as well. And I decided to make his weapon a golden katana as well, basically, yeah. But yeah, other than that, he can do basic normal attacks with his katana. And in case you're wondering why he doesn't have his hand glows, it's because I think I forgot to turn them on. But in case you want to know what his hand glows are, they're style 1 in orange, in case you want to know what his hand glows are. But yeah, he can do basic melee attacks with his sword, and also use a little fire burst in order to destroy the objects. And also use a bunch of fire dust in order, when he does a ground slam, he can use a bunch of fire dust in order to knock back his enemies. And he can also throw the sword at objects or enemies. Yeah, but always does come back to him. And when you tap B, he can shoot little flame bolts as his light ranged attack, but when you hold B, he can shoot a massive projectile fire as his heavy range attack, as I like to say, which is also his elemental beam. But yeah, that... And now let's move on to his skills. So, his skills, he is quite smart, so I gave him technology. They all have tracking and stealth and acrobat, but Kai's bonus skill is technology, because he's one of the more smartest ninja. But yeah, that's basically it for Kai. Now let's move on to the second one on the list. Here, we have Jay, Master of Lightning. And I decided to base this off his... ZX form with the silver arm. And Jay is also in love with Naya as well, which pretty much makes Cole Naya's cheating partner, basically, I think. But yeah, I decided to, because they don't have nunchucks in this game, I decided to give him a lightning sword to pay tribute to his Legacy of the Green Ninja form, and which he could do basic melee attacks with, and also a little lightning burst when he hits objects or enemies to deal extra damage. And when he does a jump slam, he can literally create a little electric shield in order to shock his enemies, basically. But yeah, and like Kai, he can also throw his sword at objects or enemies, and also shoot lightning bolts, and an electricity beam, which can go in any direction, basically. And his core skills are nothing special, really. Other than the fact he can shoot electricity, he has all the normal core abilities that they have. But yeah, that's Jay done. Now let's move on to his arch nemesis right here. Here, we have Cole, the Master of Earth. Now, Cole is the black ninja, who had the same color robe for the entire time, but since black decided to become a secondary color, they decided to make his primary color brown or gray. Yeah, with black in the mixture. Now, I decided to base this off of his Tournament of Elements form with a hood, basically. And as you can see, he could do basic melee attacks with his scythe. And when he attacks objects or enemies, he can use little earth bursts in order to smash them. And use a jump slam, which summons dust to knock back enemies pretty much, yeah. And when you hold X, he can enter destroy mode, which will allow him to use his super strength in order to just continuously punch his enemies. And when you tap B, he'll shoot earth bolts as his ranged attack. And when you hold B, he will stomp on the ground in order to create a little earth explosion. Let's see that one more time. Yeah, like that. And he has all the normal core abilities, but his his explosion attack actually deals sonar damage. All his B abilities deal sonar damage. But other than that, his core skills just mainly include super strength and smash walls, and all the other ones that ninjas have. Super strength because he's the strongest. Now let's move on to our third one. Here we have Zane, the Master of Ice. Now, Zane actually is an android who has a love interest with Pixel, basically. And he's also voiced by Brent Miller, who I don't really know a lot about, other than the fact that he voices Zane, basically. But yeah, his weapon is a ninja bow, which takes directly from his movie and Sons of Garmadon form. And he's mainly white with some silver gauntlets, and he has the same head as his titanium form, basically. But yeah, other than that, he can just do basic attacks with the bow, and when he approaches objects and hits them, he can do a little ice burst, which I showed. Yeah, he can do what is called an ice burst, but yeah, it doesn't really show here. But when you do a jump slam, he'll shoot a bunch of arrows into the air, he'll shoot a bunch of arrows onto the floor, in order to create a bunch of ice wind in order to knock back enemies. And he can also do fine aiming with his bow. And he also has detective mode, which allows him to see his enemies clearly. And he can also shoot an ice beam. Yeah, because he obviously got to use his elemental power in some way. And there's not a lot of his core skills other than hazard protection, because he's a robot, and I like to give robots hazard protection. Beam deflect, as he's metal and it can just deflect off him. X-ray, as he can just look into things. As well as technology, because he's an android and is a computer, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Zane. Now let's move on to my all-time favorite ninja. Here, we have Lloyd, the Green Ninja, Master of Energy, who was the Golden Ninja for one episode. And Lloyd is the Green Ninja, who is the son of Lord Garmadon and Misako. And his father was an evil overlord who got possessed in Season 2 and also went back in time to change the event so the ninja never existed as well. In case you want to know about the green eyes, I decided to make this based off his Sam Vincent, where he actually sounds like a man instead of a little boy. Yeah, and that basically means that he has green eyes, and I also decided to give him this little backpack thing to pay tribute to his Zukin form, and as well as the arms to pay tribute to his movie form. But yeah, he can do basic melee attacks with his katanas, as well as... Yeah, and when he attacks objects, he'll use a little energy burst in order to deal extra damage. And his jump slam includes a little energy shield, which can basically deal extra damage to enemies. But when you hold X, he'll do a massive explosion attack to knock back his enemies. Energy explosion, I guess you could say. And when you tap B, he'll create an energy shield, which actually allows him to move, unlike his jump slam. Yeah, a little energy shield just to block himself from enemy attacks. And when you hold B, he will shoot an energy beam, which looks like green fire, but that's because I'm basing this off his Shadow of Ronin counterpart for some reason. But yeah, not a lot for his core skills, other than Goon Command, because he's a team leader, and Telekinesis, because he has the elemental power of creation, and Technology, as he's one of the more smarter ninja. Yeah. But that's basically it for Lloyd. Now let's move on to the final one. And that is Nia, the Ninja of Water. Yeah, Nia, the Ninja of Water. In case you want to know, Nia is the only girl in the group who is also Kai's sister. and and who Jay and Cole have had love interests with, basically, pretty much, yeah. And I'm basing this off of her Tournament of Elements Samurai X form. As you can see, she has 2 black katanas, and when she attacks objects, she can use a little water burst to deal extra damage, and her jump slam is a little water shield. And when you hold X, she'll use a when you hold X, she'll create a little water ring in order to knock back her enemies. More powerful than that ground slam, basically. And when you tap B, she'll create a little water shield. Yeah, when you tap B, she'll create a little water shield, which can defend her from enemy attacks. And when you hold down B, she'll shoot water from her hands, basically. Pretty much, yeah. And now, there's not a lot to her core skills, basically, other than hazard protection, as her suit allows her to do that. Grapple, as she's a secret agent, as well as technology, as she's as smart as Kai, and X-ray, but with goggles. And stealth like the rest of them. And there you go, those are my Ninjago customs that I made in LEGO DC Supervillains. So if you enjoyed, like, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and also comment down below which one was your favourite. I'm not gonna lie, my favourites probably had to be Kai and Lloyd, as they were always my favourite ninja throughout the show. But anyway, I shall see you on the next video. Goodbye, have a great day, have fun, and stay safe. Work hard, even if you feel like you can't.